Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to this training model which is called Scale Your Sales. So this obviously is one of my favorite models and one of my favorite videos because I'm going to show you how you can really make the most out of your ad spend, so how you can really increase the return on ad spend. So how are we going to do that? Well, of course, it's not enough to just sell within one country. Therefore, I'm going to show you exactly how you can decide on which are the countries where you should expand your business to. So how we can scale internationally with the Facebook IQ. And then I'm going to present you 3 of my favorite strategies that I applied over the past years to my e-commerce companies. Well, to the e-commerce companies I very closely work with. And one is the lookalike discount strategy. After that, I'm going to show you the micro audiences strategy. And then last but not least, I'm also going to dive very deep into the existing engagement strategy. And in order to finish up this video, I also would like to share with you some additional growth hacks that we have developed here in the Ads Accelerator program and that we have seen very good results in the campaigns for our clients. And I'm sure that they will also help you. So let's get started with international scaling with the Facebook IQ. So the international scaling with Facebook IQ basically helps you to find the right countries in order to scale internationally. So this tool is called Cross-Border Insights Finder. It is still in beta, but it already works very nicely. It helps you to compare country insights from their campaign data to explore new growth opportunities around the world. And with over 1 billion daily active users globally, Facebook is positioned to help you to reach the right customers wherever they may be. And this is a very good tool. And now I would like to show you how you can set it up properly. So first, you have to select here, like where do you currently do business. So first you have to set up in which country you're working with, and you also have to set up in which industry you're working with. And so is it e-commerce, or is it marketing, or is it retail, whatever, and what's the campaign objective. So in our case, it's mainly conversions. And then Facebook gives us 4 different index numbers. On the one hand, we have the potential reach, so which is an indicator of the actual cross-border market size. And to drive conversions, we recommend that the potential markets where we want to enter should have at least a minimum of 10 million people potential reach. Because if not, they're just a secondary market. So even though it hurts my heart, Austria, for example, if you only have 4 million Facebook users, it makes much more sense to tackle Austria together with Germany. Germany has much more monthly active users than Austria, of course, and I recommend to combine Germany and Austria, for example. So focus on the primary markets, and I'm going to show you now some very good data on which are the countries that you should focus on. And after the potential reach, and the really cool tools, the really cool numbers in this new tool of Facebook is the conversion cost and competition index, which indicates how well people convert, how much it costs to reach them, and how much competition do we have there. And this is based on the data for the specific vertical, country, and objective. So let's get started and let's find some cool countries, right? Okay, so after we've done the setup right, they're gonna present us first a worldwide overview. So you see the 4 columns: potential reach, conversion index, cost index, and competition index. And for example, if we imagine that we sell in Spain in the e-commerce industry, and our campaign objective is conversion, then worldwide, a nice market overview, they give us those 5 countries: so India, US, Indonesia, Brazil, and Mexico. And what we already see here is this obsession of so many people to sell in the US is really not based on any data, because yes, the data is a big market, the US is a big market, but if you then take a look at the conversion, cost, and competition index, it's completely terrible. Like in the US, people convert less than in Spain. So the conversion index is just 80% of what people in Spain would convert, but it costs 330 times more to target these people than people in Spain. So they have the worst cost index, a low conversion index, and also the competition is twice as high as in Spain. So yes, of course, I understand that many people are obsessed with the idea to sell in the US, but just from these Facebook IQ numbers, it's not the best market to go to. Take a look at Indonesia, for example. Indonesia is a real star market. Here in Indonesia, it's a very big one. So it's 122 million active users, monthly active users from Facebook. And take a look at the conversion index, 3 times higher than in Spain. Take a look at the cost index. It's 10% of what it costs in the US, and the competition index is also tremendous. So you have much less competition in Indonesia than in any other of these big companies, big countries, and people convert very nicely, and it's super cheap to go there. And then of course you have India, which has nice numbers, with Brazil and Mexico. But now some of you would ask, yeah, okay, that's cool, but can I really sell to Indonesia? My logistics do not support those very far international sales. Well, then stay in Europe, and in Europe Facebook also gives you a very nice overview. For example, here they show us the potential reach for the UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Poland, conversion index, cost index, and competition index. And what we see is that once again many people are completely blindly focused on the UK and Germany, but they're actually very expensive, so they cost twice of what it costs in Spain. You have much more competition, and they convert less. Okay, Germany converts better, but it's still like very expensive to be there. I still recommend Germany. Germany is a good market, but just based on these numbers, it would make even more sense to go to Italy, where you have a higher conversion index than in Spain, lower cost index, and equal and basically the same competition. Or it would make even more sense to go to Poland, okay, because in Poland you have almost double the conversion index, half the cost index, and fewer and less competition. And then the last one that I wanted to share is here, South America. Here in South America, once again, we see Brazil, and we see that they actually convert better, have half the costs, and you have less competition. And this is also true for Argentina. In Colombia and Peru, people do not convert nicely, and Venezuela is low in conversion, low in cost, and low in competition. So out of these countries, I would strongly recommend Brazil and Argentina. So after we have discussed what are the countries for us to scale internationally, I would now like to present you the 3 strategies that are like the backbone of my consulting program, and I'm very excited to share them with you. So first, the lookalike discount strategy. The lookalike discount strategy is a strategy that I apply to many companies, and these are the numbers of one of them. They actually spent around 160,000 euros on Facebook ads, made 460,000 in return, so a ROAS of 2.84. And what we did with this client is basically this approach. So they only sold in Spain before we started working together, and they wanted me to help them to scale internationally, so to enter the European market. What we did was we created a lookalike 1% of their purchasers, so purchase 180, but we created this lookalike not only in one country, but we created it in 5 countries. But it's not 5 lookalike audiences, it's 1 lookalike audience based on the purchase 180, but applied to Germany, UK, France, Italy, and Poland. So you get a 1% lookalike of 1.6 million or something like that. And within this one audience, one ad set, we then did the breakdowns and understood which is actually the country where it works the best. In our case, Germany worked very nice. And in the winning country, we expanded the lookalike to the 1 to 2% and to the 2 to 3%. And then we also played around and tried other seed audiences, so nucleus audiences. So instead of just purchase 180, we played around with lookalike based on the lifetime value of our customer database. We played around with a lookalike based on purchase 180 of people who have bought at least twice. We played around with lookalikes of people who have bought products of a value higher than 50 euros, and all of these lookalikes worked very nicely. And as I said, we started with the 1% lookalike of many countries together, and then we expanded into the winning countries with higher lookalikes and different nucleus audiences, so seed audiences. And what we did here was a discount strategy. So we focused on something that's called DR, so direct response. So we did not aim in this campaign that people just come on our website when they so the first ad, the prospecting ad, did not just aim to nurture the funnel and then retargeting and convert them. No, we already aimed for conversion. So we showed cold traffic our ads and wanted them to already purchase, and we did that with an organic post in the different languages. So when you post something on your Facebook page, you can actually create one and the same post in different languages and then use them in your ads with the specific language for the specific country. And we did this with over 20 images of our collection, and we had a very nice copy. So for example, in summer we used summer sales until 70%. In Black Friday we also said Black Friday sales until 70%, and we also did something very funny. So we had it for a couple of weeks running and used the headline only until this Sunday. Okay, so it was always until this Sunday during a couple of weeks, which is actually pretty funny because there's also gonna be a next Sunday and no one ever complained. Okay, and it creates urgency and scarcity. So this is of course two very powerful persuasion techniques, you know, from Robert Cialdini, Science of Persuasion. There are 6 very strong techniques to persuade a person to actually purchase, and 2 of them, well, you have authority, reciprocity, and liking, and one of the two very strong ones are urgency and scarcity. And this is something that we played around, like you can only get it until this Sunday, and only now until 70%. And the strategy details, what else did we do in this campaign? Well, we actually did quite a lot with lifetime budgets and focused these lifetime budgets on specific micro moments. So when you work with lifetime budgets instead of daily budgets, you very well know that you can use the specific part of the day where you want to demonstrate your ad, and it doesn't show 24/7. And you also can select, for example, also want to show them from Monday to Friday and on the weekend not, or for example just Monday to Friday and then on Sunday afternoon. And that's what we did in this campaign. And we also did something in order to increase the relevance score, which was we separated the campaign into men and women. So we showed different ads to men than to women. So to men we showed either men with nice looking clothes or good looking women to get their attention, and then to bring them also to a sales page where we sold them male products, so good looking clothes for men. And to women we only showed them female products and happy female models in their products. So that was the lookalike discount strategy. And now I'd like to present you the micro audiences strategy, which is also a very good one and brought one of the highest ROAS that I currently have, so almost 6, and so 40k spending and over 226,000 euros in return. And how we did that, basically we played around with very relevant copies and creatives for very specific audiences. So this is a complete different strategy. So we do not work with very broad audiences, but we rather focused on narrow and specific ones. And then we also retargeted these people with gender and country specific copies and creatives. So in the other one we only separated between men and women, and in this one we also separated between the different countries. In retargeting and in prospecting we separated between many things. We separated for the different cities. For example, in London we said London girls watch out, here's a new product for you. In Vienna we said now finally launched in Vienna. stuff like that. So we are really specific for, we are really relevant for a specific audience. And what we did here, we focused a lot on dynamic products. So we used many collection ads and also dynamic product ads, not only in retargeting, but also in prospecting. So if you have not known that, it's going to be a very cool model for you in one of the upcoming videos, where I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up dynamic product ads, so DPA, also in prospecting, not only in retargeting. And it really worked very nicely for us. And what else did we do? We used influencer carousel ads in prospecting and retargeting. So with this specific client, we were lucky because we had very popular and famous influencers that we could actually use in our ads. So we used the photos that the influencers have posted on Instagram, they sent them to us, and we made very nice looking carousel ads out of them, and we also tagged the influencer then in these specific carousels. So that was it on audiences and on ad level. And what are some further strategic details that we used? Well, we played a lot around with the Facebook Messenger placement. We actually invested quite a lot in that, and in order to increase our spend on Facebook Messenger, the only way that you can do right now, because at this moment it was not possible to spend money only on Facebook Messenger if you do not select the Facebook feed in addition. Therefore, we created ad sets with Facebook Messenger and Facebook only mobile newsfeed, and here we were able to really scale our spending on Facebook Messenger. And then at the end of the campaign, also Facebook launched Marketplace and the Facebook Stories, and of course we adopted very fastly to these two new placements and also got nice results there. And on a general note, it is important for you to note that always when Facebook launches a new placement, a new tool, a new format, you should always adopt to that. You should always give it a try, because on the one hand, the algorithm, so the machine, benefits those early adopters to the new tools and techniques because they want to spread it out. So on the one hand, you get benefits from the algorithm, and on the other hand, you have fewer competition there, because the really big companies like Unilever, Henkel, or Mercedes, they take forever to adopt to those new placements and to those new features. So it really makes a lot of sense to be a first mover and early adopter to, for example, Marketplace and Facebook Stories as an ad placement. And in this specific one, we also played around with asset customization to get optimized ad formats for each of the ones that were eligible for asset customization. So for example, within one ad set, within one ad, we were able to select a horizontal image for Facebook mobile newsfeed, for example, and a vertical video or photo for Instagram stories, and then a one-on-one photo video in Instagram feeds, and all of this within the same ad. So that was very cool, and that's possible with asset customization. I'm also going to show you that in a later video. And now the last strategy that I would like to share with you is the existing engagement strategy, which is one of the very powerful ones that brought a lot of sales. So over 840,000 euros with 300,000 euros on ad spend, which is a ROAS of 2.81. And here we applied several cool things. On the one hand, we applied the 3 engagement steps in order to show one general nurtured post to all prospecting and retargeting audiences. So how did we do that? First, we posted something on our Facebook page, an organic post, which could be either a single image or a video, or you could also already post a carousel on your organic page, and then you take that in the second step and create an engagement campaign. And in the engagement campaign, you use this existing post from your Facebook page in order to collect social proof. So social proof is likes, comments, shares. Okay, and after a couple of days that you have nurtured this post with some organic but also with some paid engagement, you can use it in the conversion campaign, and this will of course perform much better than if you just start from scratch with 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares. Our posts from the first moment on, when we started in phase 3 with the conversion campaign, already had hundreds or even thousands of likes, and this of course worked much better. Why? Well, on the one hand, you have the social proof. So if people see an ad like this, they think, oh, this is actually a very trustworthy company. And on the other hand, the algorithm also benefits you. So it's just a win-win situation. And then the engaged ads. So how did we actually technically do that? Well, we did two options. On the one hand, we either used existing posts from our Facebook page. So this is then step one, to create the organic post and then the engagement campaign and then the conversion campaign. But we also worked with ad IDs. So for example, if you wanted to skip the organic post because it was a content that was not so suitable for our community, then we skipped the first step and only created an engagement campaign. And then after the engagement campaign, we used the identification number from the engagement campaign in order to create a conversion campaign, making use of the hundreds and thousands of likes, shares and comments. And this is a very good strategy when you want to work with the ad IDs. And in one of the upcoming videos, I'm going to show you in a lot of detail how you can find the right ad ID and how you can actually apply it. And this one we did not only do with horizontal images, but we also did it with squared videos or slideshows that we have created from our products in one-on-one format, or even with photo galleries, which is something that I like a lot, which is what I also showed in the lookalike discount strategy. It's basically an option where you can post over 20 or up to 40 or even more one-on-one images on your page, on your Facebook page, and then you use it in an ad. And you of course tag the products in each of those photos, and it sells very nicely. And some further details for this specific campaign that we used, well, we played around with budget optimization and campaign level. So this allows Facebook actually to reallocate the budget between each ad set. So instead of just having 3 ad sets, each of them has 10 euros. Instead of that, you give Facebook 30 euros on campaign level, and it then allocates the 30 euros according to what the algorithm thinks it's the best. And usually the algorithm is pretty right. So this was a good strategy that we applied here. And we also played around with third-party recommenders. So we used some Facebook communities like top Kickstarter projects or Scandinavian stories. So third-party authorities, okay, so which were basically communities that we have created on our own upfront. And then with these third-party communities, we have promoted our product, but in an indirect way. So we did not actively say, this is our product, purchase now, but it was a third party that said, hey, this cool company launched a new product, take a look at them, they're actually very nice. And this worked tremendously cool. And we combined this one also with the engagement steps. So for example, this third party recommender that just talked about us in a third person style also got hundreds and thousands of likes. So it actually performed very nicely. And now, last part of this video, I would also share with you some growth hacks that me and my team have developed over the past months. And these helped many companies, especially in the beginning. So I've shown you very strong numbers. So already 840,000 euros in website conversion value, 300,000 euros in spend. This is of course not something that every single person can afford in the beginning. But you also have some cool, but however, you can still apply those strategies that I have presented you. And I'm still very convinced that they will work nicely for you as well. But especially in the beginning, every single euro counts, every single euro or dollar counts. And therefore, I would like to share with you 3 growth hacks that I recommend, especially in the beginning, and that helped us to achieve, for example, these numbers. So what did we do? The first and very important thing is have an event calendar for your yearly preparation. So it cannot be that you only find out that it's Cyber Monday or Singles Day on the day before, or Amazon Prime Day. Okay, that is not possible. You really have to have an overview of all the general and then the specific e-commerce events. So general ones are like Christmas, Easter, Halloween, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, e-commerce Black Friday, or even Black Week. Sometimes I even heard talking about the Black Month, so the entire November. That's not good. Do the Black Week, but don't do the Black Month. That's not a good idea. But the Black Week is a good idea, starting Black Friday already from Monday on. including, so the Monday before Black Friday, and do it until the Cyber Monday, so 8 days in total. That's like the Black Week. That works very nicely. Then of course the Singles Day, Amazon Prime Day, so on and so forth. So it's very important for you to prepare specific campaigns with specific creatives, specific copies, and even adopt your landing page or your entire website to the specific theme. So for example, in Black Friday, I've seen many successful e-commerce companies that have changed their color scheme on their website during Black Friday to a very black design, black and white. Okay, it's just an idea of a Valentine's Day, depending on your category, but you could also play around with the theme of love, so on and so forth. So be prepared for each of the upcoming events by having an event calendar for your yearly preparation. That is one important thing. Second important thing is something that's very cheap. It's very, very economic because it only needs around like €5 daily budget, and it really works nicely in order to help you get the business out there. Okay, so I call this one whitelist ads. And it starts with an online research. You could do it on your own, or you can do it with a freelancer from Fiverr, or you could do it with an intern. And what you want to do is you want to create an Excel with name, in the best case, first name, last name, email address, and in the best case also the Facebook user ID, so the private Facebook profile of potential investors, distributors, or other key accounts that could be interesting for you. Okay? And then you upload the Excel of these important people to Facebook as a custom audience, and then you use this custom audience within one ad set, which only needs around €5 daily budget because it's not going to be very big, this whitelist custom audience. And then you show them brand performance ads. So you would not show them discount ads, you would not show them that you're a very cheap brand, but you rather would show them, I'm a strong brand. You would even show them, for example, an authority that talks about you. So if you have been featured in a newspaper, or if your product has received an award, like this kind of, it's not just pure branding, because you also want to bring them on your website, because they also should take a look at your cool products. So therefore I call it something between branding and performance. So I call this one brand performance. And this really helped many of my clients to get their business out there and get going. And then the last growth hack that I would like to share with you is a little secret that I actually learned from one of my friends and clients, and it's very smart and I like it a lot, so I'd like to share it with you also. So what you can do is an offline strategy, because we very well know that our online sales heavily depend on our performance offline as well. And what he did is he contacted his competitors anonymously via email, and he requested to sell their products in his shop. Okay, so he actually claimed that he has a physical store in the center of the city, and he wants to sell their products, and he did this via email. And what the competitors did, and he actually told me that 7 out of 10 competitors fell into this trap. They answered him very nicely, very friendly, said like, hey, thank you very much for your interest. Yes, of course, we would be very happy if you would sell our product. Here is the contact of our distributor that will take care of this topic. So they put this anonymous email in contact with the distributor, okay, and then my friend never responded to them, okay, but what he did is he took the name of this person, searched for this person on LinkedIn, and then contact the person from the official site, so with the official brand and with the real name, just as if he would have not known that he's the official distributor of the competitor, but just out of curiosity, hey, I've seen that you're in this industry, I actually sell this and that product, would you be interested in also distributing that? And it worked 7 out of 10 times very nicely and got him into very nice chains of offline stores where he now sells his product in a very, very nice and scalable way. And this of course also supports your online sales, because the more your brand is out there, the more people interact with your products, the more traffic you will also gonna get on your page, the more word of mouth marketing is there, and all of this nurtures our funnel in order to attack those people in our retargeting. So guys, in this very nice video about scaling your ads, I've presented you the conversion cost and competition index from the Facebook IQ, so where we can actually find the right markets internationally, worldwide, in South America, and also within Europe. Then I've presented you my 3 favorite strategies when it comes to lookalike discount strategy, micro audiences strategy, and existing engagement strategy. And last but not least, I've also presented you some growth hacks that me and my team from the Ads Accelerator have developed in order to get you the most out of your campaigns. So guys, thank you very much for listening and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.